You walk into a group. The room is full. Voices overlap, laughter spikes, phones glow. Someone's telling a story they've clearly rehearsed, and there you are, smiling, nodding, saying the right things at the right time, yet somehow you feel lonelier than when you were sitting alone 5 minutes ago. Not bored, not shy, lonely. That strange kind of loneliness where you're surrounded by people but feel oddly invisible, like you've been reduced to a background character in a scene you're technically part of. If you've ever thought, why do I feel more myself when I'm alone than when I'm with everyone? Stay with me. There's a psychology behind this, and it's more common and more nuanced than it looks. Let's start with one type you might recognize immediately. For some people, groups quietly flip a mental switch. You stop being and start watching. Picture this, you're at dinner, but instead of jumping in, you're tracking everything. Who's dominating the conversation? Who's faking interest? Who laughs a beat too late? Your mind turns observational, almost analytical. You're not disconnected because you don't care. You're disconnected because you care too much. Your brain is busy reading the room instead of living in it. Alone, that vigilance finally turns off, and the relief feels like closeness. Then there's another profile, the depth seeker. You're in a group talking about weekend plans, trending shows, surface-level opinions. Everyone's having fun, but inside, you're quietly starving. You don't want to perform reactions. You want meaning, context, the kind of conversation where someone says something unfinished and you sit with it together. Groups, by design, don't linger. They skim. So while others feel energized, you feel oddly unseen. Alone doesn't feel lonely to you. It feels honest. No small talk required. Then there's a subtler one, and this one sneaks up on people. Some people feel lonelier in groups because they slowly disappear in them. Not literally, psychologically. You adjust. You soften your opinions. You hide the parts of you that might interrupt the flow. You become agreeable, easy, low friction, and the group likes you for it. But every small self-edit creates distance between who you are and who you're presenting. Alone, that gap closes. In groups, it widens. The loneliness isn't about others, it's about self-abandonment. But here's the twist most people miss. Sometimes the loneliness doesn't come from the group at all. It comes from expectation. You walk into a social setting hoping it will fix something, fill something, prove something, and when it doesn't, the disappointment hits harder than solitude ever could. Alone, you don't expect to be understood. In groups, you secretly do. And when connection doesn't happen at the depth or speed you hoped for, the contrast stings. There's also the emotional translator. Maybe this is you, maybe it's someone you know. You feel deeply, but you process slowly. In groups, emotions move fast, jokes fly, reactions are instant. There's no pause to unpack how something landed. So your feelings pile up without a place to go. You feel full, but unheard. Alone, you can finally process at your own pace. That's not isolation, that's regulation. And then there's the most misunderstood type of all, the person who isn't actually lonely. They're just different. Their nervous system isn't wired for social saturation. Too many signals, too many voices, too much emotional noise. Their mind doesn't shut down, it overloads. So the discomfort gets labeled as loneliness when it's really overstimulation mixed with self-awareness. Alone feels calmer, clearer, safer, and society loves to misread that as a problem. Here's the important part. Feeling lonelier in groups than alone doesn't mean you're antisocial, broken, or emotionally detached. Often it means you're selective, sensitive, internally rich. It means your inner world is louder than the room, and not every space knows how to hold that. So let me ask you, which version sounded familiar? The observer? The depth seeker? The self-editor? The overwhelmed translator? Or something in between? And maybe the better question isn't, why do I feel lonely in groups, but what kind of connection actually works for me? If this landed somewhere personal, sit with it or share it. And if you want more quiet psychology like this, you know where to find it.